Hello, friends. So today we are talking to Edith and Seb, the parents from the documentary Blink, that's coming out soon on Hulu. Uh, Edith and Seb, your story is just it's touching, it's beautiful and amazing. But just to go over it really quick, you are the parents of four kids: Mia, Colin, Leo, and Laurent. Three of them are diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, if I said that
Correct.
correctly.
Yep.
And so slowly they are losing their eyesight. So I mean, the first question I want to ask you all after watching this documentary is, how are the kids doing nowadays, and how are you doing?
The kids are great. They're back at school, really happy with to be with their friends, and their vision is luckily degrading slowly. So we can see that there's changes on the scans, but in their day vision is still super good. So it doesn't affect them too much. Only at night, the night vision is gone. But yeah, so they're doing great right now. And us, we're just trying to cope with like the daily life with four kids, so just the craziness of the activities and never ending to-do list.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely for like the beginning, you see like that hecticness just in the mornings of everyone getting together, and that's how I kind of relate to that. Basically, in my house, I have two kids, but thanks to like the movies like Inside Out, we've gotten like the term core memories in our lexicon, and that's like those memories that we always cherish and go back to. Blink introduced us to a new one, or new to me actually, like visual memories. Can you let us know a little bit more about what visual memories are for those that haven't seen the documentary yet? And what has been, I guess, your favorite visual memory to imbibe, I guess, or input into into your children?
There's there's so many. There's so many. And I think we decided to go on this trip to fill their visual memory. But what we soon realized is that there's the memories of adventure that we shared together and people we met were so much more meaningful than just that um catalog of images. It worth so much, and everything they learned through the trip was so much more valuable than just filling their visual memory. So that's what set us on a trip, but really we got so much more out of it. But if I had to pick one, oh God, that's so
Oh,
hard. Visually,
I think there's maybe a few. Definitely uh,
hot air balloon in
the hot air
Cappadocia.
balloon in
Yeah.
Cappadocia. That was really something out of this world. It's just a crazy experience. I think the safari, especially like the first giraffe we saw. Leo said, is it a real one?
I
Uh,
was so surprised.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we didn't expect it.
it's something really amazing to see right there in the wild. And maybe lastly, like the landscapes in Namibia are just
Yeah.
crazy, like the dunes in the highest dunes in the world, the canyons, the sunsets with crazy colors. So when you ask the kids, I think these are the ones that stand out really in terms of visual.
Visual.
Yeah, and it's something that they recall and they can talk about.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, what I loved was how they made their list of what they wanted to see, and then you basically trying to check off as much as you can. As parents, I mean, the one thing we always want to do is give our kids everything as much as we can. That's feasible to give them. In my instance, my son suffers from a form of epilepsy, so like there's those days where I feel like so helpless when I see what's going on, and I know that I felt that with you watching the documentary when you found out about this diagnosis. Um, but being that we can't always give them everything that they want, or try to take away everything, all the pain that they want, that they're going to go through, was there a moment during all this when you were like, there's something on that list that you're not so sure if you're going to try to accomplish, but if there's a workaround around for it, or something that they wanted to do, but you know what, we can't do this, but let's do this one instead?
Yeah, there's so many things we haven't done on the list. And the thing is, the list was it became a little more serious throughout the trip. The reality is it was just a fun game to involve the kids. So it was never really, oh, we must do. And the kids, it was just funny to check, especially the juice on a camel because it was so silly. But I got the adventure we went through were so amazing that the kids didn't really care either. They were just happy to discover the world. So yeah, no. And the thing is, like, the more you check thing on the list, the more you add. So that list is never ending. And that's what's beautiful about it, is just it's not a list.
It's very dynamic.
It's dynamic. It keeps you dreaming. It's sad if you like get to the bottom of the list. You know, you need to have a list of crazy things you want to do just to keep you dreaming. So I hope they never check everything on the list.
That's funny to hear. The list has, I guess you could say, has kind of become a living document where you're just going to keep adding to it and keep adding to it.
Exactly.
Um, I keep going back to the list because I think it's like it's such a great thing, because I think not only that, I mean, it's great for what you're doing with your kids, so giving them those visual memories, but I also think it's something that maybe more parents can do with their kids, to just try to give them as much as they can out of life, because we're always talking about like presence over presence, and the experience is more important than, you know, a toy that they're going to probably play with for, you know, a day or two. They're probably more interested in the box because they can imagine a lot more things with that box. But is there, now since you said the list keeps growing, what's like one of the newest things that's been put on the list that you would have wished was filmed for the documentary?
Um, I like, I don't think it like what we wish that was filmed. It's not the thing that we haven't done, but all the other things that, because the documentary was there, like the crew was there only, I think, a few weeks out of the trip. So they were there for like 4 destination out of like 15. So there's so many moments they haven't filmed, and so many extraordinary place we've seen in an amazing adventure, that I think it's more that we wish to film, that everything that's to come, because we don't know how amazing it's going to be, the other adventure.
Yeah, no, exactly. So we're still trying to figure out how to see Pokemons in Japan, but
Oh,
we'll we'll get there.
That would be fun. That would be great to see that out there. But I mean, again, there's like so many things that parents can learn from this documentary about, you know, just being with your children. So, what is the one thing that you would love for families to get out of watching Blink?
Well, I think, yeah, and as you said it, you don't have to go on a trip around the world. You know, it could be in your backyard, it could be anything. Think of, you know, what you'd like to do and go out and do it. You know, life brings you challenges, and it's not always easy, but at your measure and in everyday life, you can find what's beautiful and what you can do about it, and go out and do it. And I think that's really the message we want to give out, is it's what
yeah.
you do is not important, is just go out and do it.
And not, you know, the goal is not to give what you kids want, you know, as a like, okay, you need to give them their wishes. It's really, those activities are really there to nurture the family bond. That's why they're there for. That's what you have to aim, not like get their wish, but really what activity is going to get everybody to have cherished memories together, and how you keep that alive, and make them want to do more as a family.
Yeah, and you can think it's funny that a lot of the memories we have is like misadventures we had, you know. Like we can talk about the gondola, but we can talk about crazy, you know, zombie movies that were played, you know, really loud in the bus when we tried to sleep and things like that. So
12-hour bus ride with no rest stop and like crazy heat. So there's so many.
Yeah, you don't know where the memories are going to come from, but it's not necessarily what you think. You know, it's not necessarily this 1,000-year-old temple that's going to be the highlight. It's really going to be, well, you know, we ended up in this little village. We had no idea who they were, and then there's, you know, this man and woman that came up and started talking to us, and the kids started playing. So, you know, it could be anything.
Yeah, and going through hardship together is going to get you a lot closer than spending a lot of money on that big you know, vacation in that super high-end place. You know, it doesn't need to be that. Really, just to go through something together, it's going to bring you a lot closer.
Thank you very much. Again, friends, Blink is a beautiful documentary. Seb, Edith, thank you very much for your time. I wish I could talk to you all day about this, but I mean, I know there's a lot of other things that you need to do today, and plus I'm also my students need me in my classroom in a minute. So thank you very much for your time today. Again, friends, check out Blink. It's a beautiful beautiful thing. And thank you for your time today. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.